True love is always demonstrated by action. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Coffee with Connect. We're together on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30. We get into God's Word together, and we have our coffee. And today is Valentine's Day, and my mug is reflecting that because it's got a bunch of hearts all over it. Aw. So, I hope that you're having a good day, and thanks for starting your day with me in God's Word, or whatever time of day it might be. You can have coffee and connect to Jesus any time of day. We're going to pray, read, think, write, and do. And with today being Valentine's Day, I thought it only made sense that we look at 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter of the Bible. On Sundays, I'm in a series called Love God First. That is really a marriage series, but in many ways it's also a prioritizing series, because we're talking about how we should love God first and how that affects everything in a trickle-down effect in our relationships and all the way down. So I thought looking at the love chapter of the Bible just made sense today, since Valentine's Day happens to fall on a day that we get together for Coffee with Connect. So I hope that you've prayed and ask God to show you something. And so we're going to be in 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7. It says this: love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. I've read this probably at every wedding that I've had the privilege to be a part of. And in just those few verses, there's so much truth to live by in our relationships that set us up for success, and that we really should live by and read and try to live out every single day. So as I think about this, and I look at where Paul starts here talking about love, he describes love in two ways. He says patient and kind. And then he goes on to talk about the things that love is not. So I find it interesting. Patient and kind, both are actions. Both are things that we should do. He's not writing about how love feels. He's writing about how it can be seen in action. True love is always demonstrated by action. And love waits. We'll wait, patient, right? Love will wait for things to play out. We'll be patient with someone that you love. And is kind. Kindness, one of the fruits of the Spirit, but is also a thing that is shown in action, in the way we treat others, our significant other, among anyone else in our life that we love. We should be patient and we should be kind. And then he gets into 8 things that love is not jealous, boastful, proud, rude, doesn't demand its own way, is not irritable. That's a tough one. Keeps no record of being wronged. Another tough one. Does not rejoice about injustice, but then rejoices when the truth wins out, right? It rejoices in the truth, is happy about the truth, is grateful. You know what rejoice means. Deception is never a part of love. And so Paul then, he reinforces both of those things that love is as he's reading through it. He said it never gives up, right? Is patient. It never loses faith, is kind and patient, is always hopeful, which is, you could argue, is an aspect of kindness, and endures through every circumstance, is always there through every circumstance, both kind and patient. All these things fit right in there. It's a really good gut check that we need to look at, and maybe even a way of like starting our day and going, how can I be kind, and patient? And how can I not be these 8 things? So what's God saying to you through that? I have no doubt that there is some aspect of this that has hit you right between the eyes when it comes to your relationship. I know it does for me every time I read it. I can think of things in the last few days where I've not been patient or kind with my wife, where I've maybe fallen into one of those 8 things that Paul lists here. I've got some work to do. We all do when it comes to how well we love, because we're not God and we're not perfect. But we should always be striving to be more like Jesus every day. And so what do we do with this? Well, if God's love is in us, we will show patience. Another word is long-suffering that the Bible uses. When we're annoyed, we'll be patient. We'll be long-suffering. We'll be kind. When we're hurt, we'll show that kindness in the way that we treat others, and patience. If God's love is in us, then we will be kind, and we will show that through actions. If God's love is in us, we will be patient, and we will show that through actions, especially to our spouse, especially to our significant others. These are the 2 most important aspects of a godly relationship that are shown, right? Patience and kindness. So let's focus on what love is and not what love is not. Because if we focus on those 2 things, the things that it's not don't have as good of a chance of showing up if we are focusing on, in a godly way, being patient and kind. So let's focus on what love is and not what love is not. And let's stand on the truth, because love can and will always stand on the truth of Jesus. So thanks for joining me. And I hope that you'll like the video and subscribe to the channel. Share this with somebody that needs it. And join me again here next time so we can have our coffee and connect to Christ, community, purpose, and God's word together. Happy Valentine's Day.